So I was born in South Africa and moved to the USA 12 years ago. And Fontini, one of my really good friends in South Africa, introduced me to Kingsley and Molly. And we found out that he is in the medical profession. So he knows a lot about people's aches and pains, and they are wonderful brother and sister in the Lord, and we love them. I actually attended New Day Church, where Kingsley and Molly go, in Edenvale, maybe a month or 2 months before I moved to the United States of America. And so at that point in time, I did not meet them. That was like 12 years ago. But since we've gotten to know them, they are just an amazing couple that we really love and appreciate, and we enjoy working with them. And this evening, we are going to share this amazing stem cell activation patch technology with you. So sit back, take notes, and then we're going to try and get done in 30 minutes. We are recording this because some people have indicated that they have load shedding, which is a thing I understand in South Africa. And so we will record this, but take some notes. If we have time for questions at the end, we will open up for questions, but we want to keep this to 30 minutes. So thank you for those of you that have joined us. And if there's anybody else that's been invited, just remind them if they can get on. So Greg, you want to take this away?
Absolutely. So this is a little different because my wife and I are normally sitting right next to each other, but I'm a little bit distance away from her. So I'm still in the Sarasota area, but we're actually both in Florida. So I know it's your evening there. It's our day. So it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon for us. But I just wanted to say I'm really excited, obviously, to share this amazing information. Again, Menno, when I was introduced to Kingsley and Molly, we were just very, very excited to partner with them. More important than anything else, I know they're excited about what we're doing. And so that's why they said, hey, can we share this with more people? I said, absolutely. We're recording this for other people that couldn't make it, but obviously we want to make sure that people see this. So I'm going to share some great information. So I'm going to share my screen and explain a little bit more about, what we're doing. The one thing that I always try to explain is that for me, I didn't understand anything about stem cell patches or anything about stem cell activation. I just knew that when I used this product, I started using it and everything changed. Literally, this little tiny patch is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to play a video that explains a little bit more, and then I'll explain a little bit more about the program and stuff like that, and then how you can participate as a customer, or if you're interested in obviously participating from a business standpoint. So I'm going to kick it off with a quick video that explains more in a couple minutes, and I could probably explain in 30 minutes. So here's a great video.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems, providing specific health benefits. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself. Let's take a look at why this is important on a cellular level. For example, a number of our patch products help counteract free radicals, oxygen molecules that damage cell proteins and contribute to visible signs of aging. When the body is stimulated through phototherapy to release its own antioxidants, these free radicals are neutralized naturally.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells, a true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body, how you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39. Imagine investing in companies like these when they first went public and riding their growth to where they are today. Those who made wise decisions to get involved gained incredible wealth. Now it's your turn. When it comes to regenerative anti-aging science, stem cells are the future. And thanks to LifeWave, you are at the forefront of it all. Don't miss out. X39 puts you on the threshold of explosive growth in your business like no other product ever could. And all you need to do is try it and share it with others. The LifeWave X39 patch, an absolute breakthrough for your body or your business. Live long, live well, live younger. Experience the power of LifeWave today.
Fantastic. So I always show this different slide here primarily because we're working with a couple here in the United States that have built massive teams around the world. And the one thing that's interesting is that Steve and Gina Merritt actually are coaching us, mentoring us, and working with us directly. You'll hear more about them if you're interested from a business standpoint, because one thing that they're doing, they got a whole system that we're using to teach people how to obviously share this with as many people as we can. It becomes naturally easy to share this when you have all the different testimonials you're going to hear. So for me personally, when I started looking at this, I actually had some challenges that I had. I injured my knee back in 2021, pretty bad, which affected my right hip. I already then had a shoulder injury and a neck injury from a car accident 6 years ago. So I call it head, shoulders, knees, and toes and pain. The biggest challenge that I had was, again, I was working out, 4 or 5 days a week, and I got to the point where I was only working out 1 to 2 days a week, because when you have a lot of pain, the hip pain was worse than anything. But 3 days after having this patch on the back of my neck, literally no knee pain, no hip pain, no shoulder pain, no neck pain, gone. And since then, I could tell you so many different things. I'm not going to, but I could tell you so many different benefits, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So some of you on here may have already been exposed to the patch through Kingsley and Molly. Some of you may not have, but again, our whole goal is to share the information with you so you can understand it. And really what this is, if you understand how the body's created, God created our bodies specifically to heal ourselves. So if I cut myself, if you break something, your body naturally heals it. How it heals it is through stem cells. So stem cells can basically become any kind of cell. It can become a nerve cell, a heart cell, a brain cell, skin cell, whatever it needs to repair those tissues or whatever's there. The biggest challenge, you think about it, when you're 18 years old, you got about 1 billion live adult stem cells. But by the time you're 80, you got very, very small amount. So in here, what happens, but you got about 1 billion stem cells. If you break your arm at 18 compared to breaking your arm at 80, who's going to repair faster, quicker, and even completely heal? So what happens by the time you're 30 years old, you lose about half the activity of your stem cells. By the time you're 60, it reduces down to a very small amount. And over time, you just get less and less and less activity, thus the aging process, everything else. But that all changes now by putting on something that's very amazing. So this is truly a technology. And if you understand, it took over 10 years, $4.5 million US in research and development to basically come out with this. They've been making patches for 20 years. The patches they've been making were even from like ones they created specifically for the Navy SEALs to keep them alert for 36 hours, all kinds of different patches. But this actually came, they launched this back in 2019. And what this really has in here is got what they call organic nanocrystals. So it's hard to kind of see that's in here, but you kind of see from the video that was there. But in here, they put nanocrystals and put a frequency on it. So what happens is that it actually the heat and light, like they show in the video, hit the patch, reflect back in your body. Now what happens, it activates a copper peptide, which they kind of call the holy grail of anti-aging, which activates your stem cells, your own stem cells. There's no stem cells in this patch. And I've had people say, well, where do you harvest the stem cells from? I said, from your own body. So it's kind of cool because your body naturally starts increasing stem cells, which starts actually healing your body, which is pretty phenomenal. So the company itself has been a massive growth track for almost 18 years. It was basically about growth to a point was about a $20 billion company. And when they launched this product in 2019, it went from 20 billion to $280 million in 2 years. Projections are this year is going to be $500 million. Projections are next year is going to be $1 billion operation in 75 countries around the world. Thus the reason my wife being from South Africa, we're developing business in South Africa, in Europe, Asia, all over. So again, obviously, if you have contacts in other countries, it can be distributed in over 75 countries. So again, there's record growth year after year after year. We are, because everybody we're talking to is looking for something to help them. And this is something like they've never seen before. So the inventor, David Schmidt, he's the CEO, inventor of X39, has over 130 patents. He's a scientist and an inventor, and Lilly has had all kinds of awards and recognition. And they Lilly created this patch with the mind that anybody can use it because it's very simple to use, but also very inexpensive compared to a lot of other things that are out there. Other options for stem cells are stem cell injections. We got a friend of ours who spent over $20,000 to have stem cell injections in their body on very localized level. And it's a little bit easier when they said they could offer this for a lot of money, but they choose to make it very inexpensive. We'll talk a little bit more about that. The patent itself, again, established in 2020, was actually awarded the patent in 2020. It was patent pending up until then. But the different thing about this is that this is not a Me Too product. I mean that you probably are familiar with a lot of other vitamins or skincare or other things that make you look healthy, things that make you feel healthy, CBDs, different things with oils and different things and stuff like that. There's only one of these. There's nothing like it out there. And that's the one thing that's unique from a business standpoint that we'll talk about a little bit more. But again, there's a lot of different products out there. They're good products. And I always say there's very few like this. And this is a technology, when I grabbed a hold of it, I said, you know what? I'm talking to everything that moves. And that's the reason why, obviously we're talking to you guys today, because we're trying to share this with as many people who want to share it with other people, and so on and so forth. So the one thing that obviously some of the things we talk about is, again, some of the benefits from this. So some of the benefits for me, the number one thing when I first started was rapid pain relief. For me, not to have the knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, I couldn't believe it. Even with my neck, I could barely move my neck. I could move my neck a little bit to the right, but I couldn't move it. I had full mobility to the left. But literally, still after the pain was gone, I didn't have full mobility. But about 3 weeks later, I had full mobility. Unbelievable difference. Reduced inflammation is a huge thing. If you understand, any kind of itises come from that. Talking about supports wound healing. We got testimonies of people that actually have had wounds that would not close for 2 years and literally started using this patch. 4 days later, their wound starts healing. It's amazing. Energy and vitality. I don't know about you, but if you're tired at this time of night and you say, you know what, I'd like to have more energy when I wake up or when I'm doing stuff, it's something that happens naturally when your body becomes more balanced. The other part is mental clarity. A lot of people nowadays are dealing with brain fog, all kinds of different things. And as you age, there's a lot of challenges with that. And this becomes actually much better. That's one thing I've noticed, a massive difference in that. Enhanced sports performance, faster recovery from exercise. I put these together because your performance increases when you work out, but also when you work out, you don't get sore. I don't get sore anymore, which is just crazy. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But the part about this also improved skin appearance. So when you talk about increasing collagen and stuff like that, it makes a massive difference. So long-term results from this, based upon 80 case studies. Within the first few days, about 4,000 genes begin to reset. So what happens is by putting this patch on, your body starts acting immediately. And what happens, you go into what they call a reboot. So I always tell people, some people detox. So first couple of days, they might have some challenges with, basically, they might feel a little sick, or they might have a little headache or something like that, because that's what's happening when you naturally detox. So we tell people, drink lots of water. By doing that, it'll help with the detox and actually flush it out pretty quickly. Within 6 weeks, they talk about brain become balanced. This is phenomenal. We got people that are in the military, people that are in the medical fields that have actually have had, anxiety, depression, PTSD, and could be students, could be anybody. And literally, this is something that's made a huge difference. We got a lot of testimonials of people going, I just feel amazing. And so that's one of the parts that happens when you talk about hormonal balances and your brain balance. Within 3 months, collagen is increased, decreasing wrinkles, hair growth increases, increasing natural integrity in both skeletal and muscular systems. This is just kind of a highlight of the different things. So it does a lot more than that. Within 6 months, I was showing this to someone yesterday, and they said, oh my goodness, she's got some challenges with her heart. She goes, I'm praying this happens for us. Within 6 months, in a recent study, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years, which means that some people had more than that in just 6 months of wearing this. And so David is quoted all the time. He basically said this. He said, this is not anti-aging. It's truly age reversing. And what's crazy about this, if you understand how the body works, the more active stem cells you have, the younger your body becomes. Basically, the younger your body acts. So the way I always think about it, we're not going on a time machine and going back in time, but your body starts actually responding and actually starts getting younger from a healing standpoint, everything else. It's absolutely phenomenal. So this is a perfect example. So this is something that I heard when Steve and Gina were interviewing the founder of the company. He used this as an example. He said, this is a 77-year-old woman who placed the patch on the back of her neck. And Lily, in session 1 is a brain scan of basically what her brain activity was. Red is not good. So when you look at this, she said a lot of the brain activity that was here was actually the only parts that were really functioning real well. She had a lot of challenges with obviously kind of mental clarity and even thinking right and forgetting a lot of stuff. Well, within 3 months, basically, this is the second session, you can notice a massive difference. And within 6 months, it made a huge difference in this. So when you talk about the difference in these two here, it has been a massive difference, for that person. So we always tell people, some people this happens within days, some people it happens within weeks. But again, they've done long-term studies on these, and the amount of difference it makes. And her mental, she didn't even notice right away. She goes, I'm thinking faster, clearer, better. Everything else is pretty phenomenal. So one thing we want to share is obviously a website with you. So you want to write this down. So startx39.com. It's got all the videos. It's got 3 great videos in there. It's got a great amount of information regarding all the different case studies. It's got links to all those. It's got links to basically the patents and all the other information, a lot of testimonials in there. So I'd highly recommend going to this site. For me, that was one thing. I started researching this more and more when that happened to me. And I was blown away by not only the technology, but the amount of testimonials that are out there. So how we wear it, it's pretty simple. We take this patch. It's basically a peel and stick. You basically peel it, pull it off. And then we recommend putting it on the back of the neck, but some people put it below their belly button if they got gut issues, but normally the back of the neck, because that's where your central nervous system connects to the rest of your body. So after my routine is normally 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So at 9 a.m. I put it on. If it's 8:30 or 8 o'clock or 9:30 or 10 o'clock, doesn't matter. But then 12 hours later, I'll take it off, throw it out. And then next morning, I put another one on. So a lot of people, we tell people, put it next to your toothbrush. So when you brush your teeth in the morning, you put your patch on. And when you brush your teeth at night, take it off, throw it out, and put a new one on. But then the one thing we always tell people, it's just typically one patch at a time. You can wear more, but typically we just recommend one at a time, and then drink plenty of water. So I want a minute to maybe share one quick testimonial of just some things recently, but there's so many different testimonials we could share, but for limited time, we could probably spend the whole time talking about testimonials. But Men, if you want to unmute yourself and maybe talk a little bit about a couple things that we've heard just recently.
Okay, thank you. So first and foremost, I wanted to say that this is, we do not make any medical claims, and this patch does not heal. It's really working naturally off our own body lights and body heats and on a light frequency, like was explained in that video. So I just wanted to clarify that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that, sometimes, we're talking to a whole lot of different people, and people are different. We have a different makeup, and those of you who are professional in the medical industry, that what might work for one person person may not work for another person, like a keto diet may work for your friend, but it doesn't work for you. So we have a different makeup. And so I always think of Onyx Cole, who actually has been using this patch for 3.5 years. And she said her first year, she just wore the patch. She knew that she'd heard of testimonies of other people and their results, and she just believed what they were telling her, pretty much what I went through, because I didn't have the 3-day example like Greg did. I mean, he had his testimony in 3 days, and I went off what he had told people because I saw it for myself. So I started to share his testimony with people until I got my own testimony. But Onyx Cole, she says for 1 year, she really didn't feel anything. But then she went to her periodontist, which is a specialist dentist. They work with gum and gum disease. And her periodontist said, Onyx, what on earth are you doing? She said, what do you mean? He said, your gums have improved. Have you changed your dental hygiene? And she said, no. And he said, well, what are you doing? Because you don't have pockets anymore. And so she said, well, the only thing is this, the stem cell activation patch, which I'm using. He said, well, of course, show me the website. Let me take a look at it. And then he said, no wonder. So her gums had healed and they were improving. And she said, I never felt that happening. So sometimes, we may hear a person say, I don't feel it happening, or I don't feel that, but it's working on the blood, it's working on the gums, it's working on eyesight. And you'll only really get to find out when you go to your doctor for a checkup. So I just wanted to throw that in. But just recently, we were asked by a friend to actually speak to one of their friends in South Africa, and he had severe Parkinson's, like really bad tremors. And when I spoke to him on the phone, I could hear the pain in his voice. For 2 years, he's been struggling, 63-year-old man. And that's not old, that's still pretty young. And he said to me, I've tried absolutely everything. If what you're telling me is going to work for me, then I will be blown away. I'll be super excited about it. But he says, I've given up. He says, I've given up all hope. And I said, Andre, honestly, I can't guarantee anything. But if you'd like to try what we're showing you, then, let me know. And we're hoping and praying that it's going to work. Anyway, so he called me, he got on the Zoom, he could barely keep his head up because of the pain that he experiences in the back of his neck because of all the tremors and the shaking. And he's on drugs constantly. Anyway, his wife said, 10 o'clock in the morning, he's back in bed, sleeping for the rest of the day. And he gets up the next morning, tries to eat something, takes his meds, goes back to bed. And that was his life for the last 2 years. He called me after he looked at this presentation, and he asked me to call him. I called him and I said, well, Andre, what is it? And he said, look, I'm going to try this. And I said, okay, good. Within he ordered the platinum package, which is a 12-month supply of it, 6 months for himself, 6 months for his wife. And he said, the wife called like 3 or 4 days later to say, I don't know what's going on with my husband. He's a different man. She had an event at her house, and this man, who would normally be sleeping all day, was socializing with all her guests until the evening. And she said he hasn't done that in the last 12, 24 months. He has not been able to do that. He's not been able to ride his motorbike. He's not been able to sign his own checks. He's a businessman. And all of a sudden, things were beginning to change. This was like 3 or 4 days later. We had the recording of that testimony. And then on Monday, he got on a Zoom like this, and he gave his testimony. He sat through for 1 hour, smiling, telling everybody how he's got his hope back. He can face tomorrow. He said he's embarrassed and ashamed to have said to his wife, I want to end my life. This is not the way I want to live. But he said, now I have hope. And he said, I'm prepared to share this with everybody, anybody who wants to talk to me, because he's so excited. He says he's back on his motorbike. He's able to function again. And I mean, literally, he said the only thing he can point or point this to is prayers and the patch. That's the only thing. You know, he said, I was even on supplementation, etc. Nothing helped me the way that this has helped him. And so that to me is a blessing, because we don't give guarantees. But if it helped to turn his life around and helps to keep him getting up in the morning and facing the day, then I'm all for it. So I just wanted to share that with you. But we get testimonies every single day from people that are using the products. Thank you.
Yes. And that's amazing, because again, hearing his testimony, it was very emotional. I've actually got it recorded, and we can actually Kingsley share that with you. But we have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials personally, between friends that we know, people they know, and people that they know. It's been absolutely phenomenal. And so the one thing that I look at some of these pictures here, like this person day one, what she looks like, and a year later, she looks like a younger sister, right? And just all kinds of things of wound healing, hair growth, and we could go on and on and on. But it's amazing how, once again, we want you to experience your own testimonial. So the way that this works is pretty simple. We want to give everybody an opportunity to use this product. So what we do is we basically try to get people to utilize it at the wholesale price. We could sell this $150 at retail all day long for US dollars, at $150 all day long. But we actually said, hey, no, we want to get to everybody at the wholesale price. And the way that works is everybody can become a distributor, and it depends on what you want for you. If it's for you and your wife, you and your spouse, or whoever, if for just yourself, we usually make recommendations as far as getting registered. For us personally, we've built teams where we understand about building teams. So we get signed up at the diamond level, because we wanted to get this into people's hands as quickly as possible, utilizing the product, everything else. We made this money back in 3 weeks. So it was something that as soon as you're sharing it, people are like, I'm interested. And you'll find that too. And so that's one thing that is interesting, is that for us, from a business standpoint, I'm going to take the next really 3 to 4 minutes, explain about the business, kind of a high level, is what you think about is, okay, why would I want to do something differently? And really, everybody has their own reasons. A lot of people, they say, I want better health, which is great. I want to have less debt. I want more security. I want to be able to travel, have freedom, time with my family, things that you want to do. But we're going to explain to you how you can actually do that, because the stem cell industry is exploding. When you understand stem cell injections from $7,000 to $100,000, basically a hundreds of $1 million industry today, it's becoming, can see to explode over 300 billion. And this is not our projections. This is based upon other companies that are talking about, because everybody's looking for this. When you start doing a popular opinion poll, people are like, in stem cells, I'm interested. What do you know about it? What can help? So what we do, how we earn money, is we basically build teams of people. We put a team on the right and put a team on the left. For our goal is for everyone to say, hey, you know what? I know some people that could take advantage of this product. We help them basically get registered, put one person on the right, one person on the left, put another person on the right, put another person on the left. And what happens is that you can get compensated by these people just purchasing stuff that they get on a monthly basis, and then bringing other people in it. So if you understand building teams, it becomes very explosive. Where literally we've never seen anything grow this fast. We got, I couldn't believe, Onyx Cole, got started back in 2019. She's got like 100,000 people on our team now. It's amazing the growth that can happen very, very, very quickly. Well, you can earn up to $25,000 per week from the binary. The good part about this is that you actually have unlimited matching bonuses, where you can actually, it's unlimited what you want to make. This is how people are making over 100,000 US dollars a week, by basically, because what happens is when you register someone personally in the business, they buy what they normally buy. And when they start referring people, you get 25% of whatever their binary is, what they make off of that. Then basically you can also get 20% of what they do. So I always use the example, say, if you sponsored, say, my sponsor being my wife, we would basically be getting a weekly bonus from basically the money that we're making. But then what happens is that we've registered close to probably, I think, over 100 people now. So over 100 people, basically you get 20% of whatever they're doing. And then whoever they register, say they register each 10 each. Now they got over 1,000 people that basically you got all these people that are now you're making percentage of on a weekly basis. So it's pretty staggering what can happen. So what our goal is to do is we want to share this and create awareness, basically as much as we can. So by sharing this with people say, well, is there a lot of commitment? I'm like, no, it's based upon you. The simple program is we talk to 3 people a day, follow up with 3 people a day, and get one person who goes to the website or takes a look at a Zoom meeting like this. And that's it. So it's a very simple thing. We have a whole system we use with build331.com that explains the specific information on here. And again, one thing we always tell people is check out this site, check out the Start X39. But some people say, I'm just ready to get started. So what do I need to do? And we always tell people, say, get the product, talk to Kingsley, talk to obviously his beautiful wife about, how you can get started, how you can be part of the team. Because obviously we would love to have you be a part of our team. But again, if you're just interested from a product standpoint, awesome. But you'd be shocked at how quickly you're going to go know people who, and we start hearing other people that are having challenges with different stuff. You're like going, I think I got something that can actually help you. So this is where we want to help people do this. So we always give people the opportunity to say, you know what? I'm interested in from a product standpoint, would be say I'm a number 2. I'm interested from a product standpoint, but some people are like, I'm a number 1. I'm interested from a business standpoint, because not only would I like to get my product for free, but if I can make a lot of money doing this, you pick the amount. We're going to take our time, our energy, our resources to help you do that. Obviously, we live in the United States. We're doing stuff remotely like crazy. Kingsley and his beautiful wife are actually going to be helping you locally. So our goal is to expose this to people and share this with people as much as we possibly can. So I'm done with my side. So the only thing we want to hear from you is say, hey, I'm a number 1. I want to be in partnership business with you. Or, hey, I'm a number 2. I want to be a customer. If you have no interest, great. Just let us know that too. But really, we've got a lot more people going, I'm a number 1. I'm a number 1. So let us know what we can do. And then I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to make sure we open up for any questions. And if you have anything else that you wanted to share, I'll let you do that.
Yeah. Well, we would like to open up for any questions. And then also if you want to put in the chat, like, I'm just interested from customer, or I'm interested from a customer and a building standpoint. We all have a